Leo ni tarehe 19 Mei 31st. Leo ni tarehe 19 Mei 2025 na mengi yanafanyika. Before ifike 31st May tutakuwa tumepiga mpaka vitu vingi tena zaidi, and we are here to talk about all these things because they affect you either as a youth, they affect you either as a parent of a youth, they affect you even as a leader. Naangalia katika magazeti naona The Standard talking about captured justice, the Shagwa faces arrest, the treasury to avoid costly loans, opt for pension cash. All these things zinaongelelea negativity, zinaongelelea vitu zinatu affect, na ndio leo tumeweza kucraft show tuweze kuongea kuhusu youth leadership and unemployment. Youth leadership unemployment, hiyo ni segment moja kubwa. Tutoke hapo hivyo because it is May, Mental Health Awareness Month. Tukae chini na msanii anatumia art ya kuchora kueneza mental health awareness. Utapata vijana wako na shida mingi huko nje and zina affect their mental health, na kila mtu anajaribu kutumia, kama ni talent anajaribu kutumia kuona hii talent yangu ni wapi naweza saidia vijana wenzangu kwa mambo ya mental health. So tutakuwa na kijana anaitwa Chege. Chege comes from Risambo constituency, Kahawa ward in Soweto. Soweto is one of the biggest slums in Kenya. We'll be discussing how he's using his art and talent to promote mental health awareness. Alafu tukishamalizana pia na hiyo, haya mambo yote kuhusu unemployment na youth leadership, nataka tupige show yenye ni international show. So we will be joined by Alfred Eli K. Day. Jina hiyo K unaweka kwasi. Ni mtu ambaye amesomea pale University of Ghana, na saizi wana prepare kitu inaitwa Africa Youth Empowerment Summit 2025, moja kubwa tena zaidi. It was scheduled to happen on 21st to 23rd May, but imeweza kuwa postponed. So now members of the public wanaulizia sisi, na tulikuwa tushajipanga what happened. We'll be discussing about all these things in the youth leadership and unemployment conversation. Tukishamaliza hayo yote, tutarejea kwa haya magazeti tuweze kuchambua kila page, kila ukurasa, na tuangalie inakuhusu aje. For example, The Standard wanaongelea captured justice, legal experts and political analysts are raising concerns about a growing trend in the justice system where individuals who break the law but sing the regime's praises appear to have a smooth run in corridors of justice. In contrast, President William Ruto's critics are treated more harshly. Observers say that the legal system is being weaponized. Haya yote ni magazeti. Tutakuwa tunaungana na kiongozi wa vijana na vile vile CEO Youth Green Society, Dennis Kimani, tuweze kupitia haya magazeti yote, tuangalie inakuaffect aje wewe kama Mkenya. You see, people keep saying that politics ni dirty game ya wanasiasa. Wanasahau as wamesema hivyo ni hiyo siasa wameongelelea. Kesho bado watuongelelea politics, waseme hawa wanasiasa wametukosea sana. What do we do? At the next election tutawaondoa tuweke wazuri. Next election we keep making same blunders because we don't take keen interest on what is happening in our country. The Star are talking about state to give banks and insurance companies to finance project. Treasury to avoid costly loans opt for pension cash. If the Treasury of Kenya is going to opt for pension cash, unafaa unajiuliza society mahali huko inaafektiwa aje na hii story, and how can you help them? Kwa hiyo yote taungana na Youth Green Society CEO Dennis Kimani, jamaa ambaye aliweza kutusaidia kuandaa kitu kinoma tena zaidi kinaitwa The West Symposium. Tutakuwa bado tunaangalia from The West Symposium what have we gained in terms of circular economy? Karibu katika art and culture ndani ya KUTV Rise Today. Jina langu ni OJWANG, mtoto wa MARIAM, Senior Warrant Officer 1 Lutani Kanali, na tuko live on YouTube KUTV Kenya, tuko live pia on Facebook KUTV station, na saizi juu tuko live hapo hivyo in that same mood, nataka tutoke hapa tuingie barabarani ni kuangalilie hali ikoaje ya barabara na hali ikoaje ya anga. Sende mbali. Barabarani tunaanza na mambo ya trafiki, ni kuangalia trafiki iko wapi, alafu nikishamaliza kukuangalia trafiki iko wapi, ni kueleze kwetu vile kuko. Hapa hivi nakwambia kuko tu, kunataka kunyesha na hakunyeshi. Kukinyesha kunakuwa ni usiku. So mtu anaamka asubuhi unashangaa, okay, how do I wear today? Kumekaa kunakaa warm. Watu bado wanaogopa. Ukitoka nje kama uko Nairobi kutanyesha baadaye. So wewe kaa chini unajipanga. Upande wa Nairobi kuna mawingu, kuna jua kiasi, na kulingana na MET ama Meteorological Department wanasema in the afternoon kutakuwa na vipindi vya clouds, kutakuwa na clouds na kutakuwa na jua in parts of Nairobi. I'm wondering, wewe kwenye huko kukoaje in terms of hali ya anga? Unaweza kunielezea hapo hivyo Twitter ama X ukipenda, @OJWANG_MARIAM, @KUTV_Kenya. Barabarani nazo kunakaa hivi. Watu ambao wanatoka Ruaka, watu ambao wanataka kuingia pale hivyo maeneo karibu na Museum Hill, watu ambao wanatoka maeneo ya ABC, watu ambao wanatoka Lavington, wote wanakwamia hapo hivyo ABC, bado wanakwamia hapo hivyo Safaricom headquarters, wanakwamia bado wakisonga pale hivyo katika Spring Valley. Huku kwote mtazamaji ni jam. Na hii jam ina affect watu wa gani? Ina affect watu wote wenye wanatoka side za Wangige, ina affect watu wote wenye wanatoka side za Uluyani, ina affect watu wote wenye wanatoka side za Kabete. Ukikuja as unataka kuingia pale hivyo Westlands ABC, bado kuna jam at 7:39 AM. Kumbuka you're supposed to be a little bit patient. Toke hiyo side ya barabara tuingie side gani nyingine ya barabara. Niko Muthaiga Road sahi, na hapo Muthaiga Road niko hapo hivyo nimekwama karibu Muthaiga Square Nairobi. Hapa pote mtazamaji barabara iko red, na hii red inatoka all the way from Osops hapo drive in, inakuja inapanda KCA University. Surveys ya watu wote wa Mathare wanakuwa affected na e-jam. So ukifika hapo hivi Muthaiga Square Nairobi inakuwa mo juu hapo sasa gari ambazo zinatoka Kiambu Road, watu wa kule Karura, wote wa Ridgeways Mall wanakuja wanapatana hapo hivyo, inakuwa jam bumper to bumper. Hii jam ikishatoka hapo ina stretch inaingia mpaka Pangani, and then ikishafika huko hivyo Uhuru Highway ndo inaingia kwenye sasa inaishaisha. Wapi kwingine sasa kuna jam zaidi nje ya Nairobi? Makadara, watu wa Makadara kuna jam pale hivyo maeneo ya Ofafa Jericho karibu na Neso Kenya hapo hivyo it's red. So watu wanatoka maeneo ya Mbotela, Njiwa, hapo hivyo Optica ya Kenya's largest opticians, na waona hapa hivi Taturi Court, Buruburu pia huku kwote ni jam. So mtazamaji, wewe ni wapi huko saizi na kuna kaaje? Kama hauko barabara uko home, basi unatupata on Signet FTA free to air. Kama hauko hapo hivyo unatoka, nimesema ukijitayarisha kutoka, beba tu simu yako. Tuko live on KUTV Kenya YouTube, tuko live on Facebook. Saizi tunataka tuanze kwa mpigo tena zaidi set zetu zote tatu. Nikakwambia kwa set zetu zote tatu tutaongea kuhusu youth leadership and unemployment. Tutakuwa na Alfred Kwasi Day kutoka upande wa Ghana. Alafu tukitoka hapo hivyo bado tuko na set ambayo tunaongea kuhusu art ya kuchora. Huyu kijana anatumia spray paint kuonyeshana ueledi wake wa kuchora na talent yake. But why is he doing this? He has a purpose for it. Anasema anafanya hivi kusukuma mental health awareness. Tukitoka hapo hivyo magazeti na watu watakataka. When I say watu watakataka, I'm talking about people who are concerned about circular economy in waste management. From Youth Green Society, Dennis Kimani, the CEO, will be joining us on set kwa mpigo tena zaidi.
Miti miti, panda panda. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On Earth Check, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of Earth Check. Welcome.
Fashion Diaries is in Kilifi for the Crochet Fashion Week Africa.
Mimi ni program coordinator. Nimekuwa kwa event managing team. Tumepanga mikakati 2-3. Sasa kesho ndo kuna
the big day, the rich day. Got designers from outside the country, from within the country.
Oh, nice.
From outside Kilifi, that's a very big progress. Actually, being hosted at KUTV, that's a very good opportunity.
Please go to mkabi.com and promote local clients. Buy locally online. mkabi.com.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, Then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
Folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pa si vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Safiri ananyonya, anyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na uasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili. Hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your right and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mokwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities. Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji. Unaendelea kunyonya utamu wa KUTV Rise to the Art and Culture Monday. Naangalia saa yangu naona it's 51 minutes past 7 AM. Sikiza. Leo kwa hii set we are talking about art and vile tunaweza tumia hii art ku solve mental health. And the guest mwenye atakuja kwao, I want to give you environment ya kwao. Ni Soweto. Soweto is in Risambo constituency, Kahawa ward. Ni place yenye ukiita Kibera, unajua mtoto wa Kibera, ukiita, and these places yeye ameweza ku-identify vitu zinawa affect. One, environmental issues. Kuna floods na due to barabara za kwao kukuwa mbaya, no proper drainage, wako kwa shanties, wanapitiaga hadi electrocution. On top of that, kwao hakuna spaces fiti za kulima, juu si mashamba ni slums, so hawana food security. Wanakanja, and all these things bado zinaendelea ku affect their mental health. Kwao kuna shida ya security sana. Security sio tu ile umeshikwa, umepigwa ngeta, umeibiwa. No, insecurities ni mob sana, especially for people living in ghettos or marginalized areas in Africa. So what does he do different? His name is Shege. Shege is using artwork to promote urban farming. You do artwork to promote urban farming so that you can increase food security and people will start having good mental health. And awesome work amekuwa akifanya hadi akaweza kuwa spotted na Basic Needs, Basic Rights Kenya na vile vile SDI, muungano wa wanavijiji. These are organizations, non-governmental organizations that deal with community issues such as this. And the question we beg to ask, wewe kama youth, what are you doing in your society to help your fellow youth to deal or cope with mental health issues? The resilience that comes with it. Inatoka wapi? Unafanya nini kuempower wengine? On top of that, tuko na video kuhusu mental health that we would love to share with you. Then after that, tuweze connect all these things so that Shege akikuja on set, you can have also questions to ask. Papa hapa on KUTV Rise today, Art and Culture Monday.
Hello everyone, it is I, Michelle Wamboi, and today we are going to have a mind talk with Gen Z as they spill the tea on their mental health. And did you know that half of all people will be diagnosed with a mental illness at one point in their life? Mental health is real and it can get really messy. So if we don't talk enough about it, it can really affect us.
The word mental health to me, mostly when I think about it, it's your current state of mind, how you think, what you take into your mind, what you process in your mind. Yeah.
Taking care of your mind other than just your physical body.
Mental health, I think, is the way you balance between reality and expectation in your life.
Okay, mental health to me literally means taking care of yourself mentally, ensuring that you're stress-free and nothing that really distracts you from whatever you're doing.
Mostly, because us as young people, I'll talk on behalf of the age that I am in, the age is mostly people often don't prefer to talk about their mental health to other people because maybe, you know, people want to fit in particular groups, and therefore they don't prefer, they rather listen and talk about things that are happening rather than talk about their mental health.
Yes, because if you don't take care of yourself mentally, at some point it will also affect you physically. Itaonekana tu, like if you are constantly overthink, una fear, constantly uko in fear, uko worried 247, it will just reflect like physically. Hata utapata unagonjeka something that it makes sense, like ungegonjeka if ungekuwa less stressed and all that. So mental health, ukikosa kuangalia mental health, at some point it affects your physical health pia.
Yes, I think mental health is important because when you have a poor mental health, maybe you will have maybe unaweza shindwa kukula, ama unaweza kukunywa pombe, kutumia drugs, kitu kama hiyo, which affect your physical health.
Yeah, it is. Actually, mental health comes first because when you're not okay mentally, you can't even be okay physically.
For me, I have few people that I'm confident with talking to about my mental health. So the few people, the times we are together with them are the times that maybe we will talk about our mental health, but not deeply, not that deeply. To some extent, yeah.
To my friends, rarely, but to my relative, I have one person, mwenye ndio maybe tunaongea once in a while.
Okay, me about mental health, sio rahisi niongee sana na watu. Unless maybe tuko close, maybe kitu kama brother yangu, naweza ongea na yeye juu tuko close na yeye. Ama maybe my mom, maybe watu wako close sana, lakini my friends sio rahisi sana.
ChatGPT. Literally, I believe when you talk to AI will not go and tell person X, person Y, person Z, Patricia is going through something. ChatGPT will just advise you on what to do, and it will just be quiet.
I have never gone to a therapist. Yeah, maybe when I feel as if my mental health is not good, I'd consider.
I've never, and I don't think I can consider if kuna need hivyo sana, but as for now and venye mimi najijua mentally, I don't think nitakuwa na visit therapist anytime soon.
Mi sio nangi maana therapist. I think the best therapist ni mtu anakujua. Sasa sema mtu mko close na like sio ati mtu professional. Mtu professional, yes, hiyo ni kitu amesomea pia, sio ati like anakuelewa vizuri.
I have ever, yeah. That was back then. I was in first year. I was so depressed about the course I was doing. I felt like in high school I used to have that mentality of I need a course that is more of maths, not more of theory. And the course I'm doing right now is more of theory. So I was a bit depressed. I was like, I'm not understanding in class. Things are not okay for me. Then I went to KU mental health offices but at the health unit. So they advised me about course selection. I finally loved my course, and here I am today.
It depends with what kind of media you're...
Kabisa. Now, those are our fellow youths. They're talking about mental health, and I'm concerned to know, what do you understand by mental health, irrespective of where you are, your level of education, your level of professionalism? What do you understand about mental health? We will continue with the video ndo tusikie views za vijana wengine wengi, but just before that, we want bado tuongelele vijana. We talk about youth leadership now and unemployment. You as a youth, you are born a leader and you are somewhere unemployed. How do you then still continue your leadership amid this unemployment? Ukiuliza kila kijana huko nje uko aje, atakwambia ako poa, yeta yuko poa. Ukimwambia haya sasa uko poa, jumi siko poa, manzeni kopeshe punch. Akuulize aje kwa nchi ya Kasongo, uchumi una affect vijana, and we need to know as youths, then how do we go past this so that those people who are around us can better their lives? We are going to visit everywhere in Africa to learn, and today we are starting with Ghana, guys. So via Zoom we are going to have our empowerment, our youth empowerment, leadership and employment conversation with Alfred Elikwasi Day from Ghana.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele.
In a world where uncertainty rules and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, business strategies and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, what you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
Fashion Diaries is in Kilifi for the crochet
Fashion Week Africa.
Program coordinator. Nimekuwa kwa event managing team. Tumepanga mikakati mbili tatu. Sasa kesho ndo kuna
big day, the real day. Go to the banners from outside the country, from within the country. Oh, nice, nice. From outside Kilifi, that's a very big progress. Actually, being hosted at KUTV, that's a very good opportunity.
Please go to mtabiz.com and promote local clients. Buy locally online. mtabiz.com.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila uoga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Miti miti, panda panda. Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of Welcome.
In a world where uncertainty rules and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, business strategies, and entrepreneurship.
Sasa challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, what you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
Kabisa, zina katika dakika 12 asubuhi baada ya saa 2 masaa na majira ya Afrika Mashariki. Ladies and gentlemen of East Africa, West Africa, all of Africa, welcome. Now we are going to have a conversation that we had promised you that we are going to have. It's a set on Africa, youth leadership and unemployment. The people we are going to talk about are still the organizers of Africa Youth Empowerment Summit. I'm joined all the way from Ghana by Alfred Eli Kwasi Day, or K, whatever you want to call him. This guy is a peacemaker. He's a diplomat. He has a lot of awards. Let me go through about his profile. Then I will introduce him to you and give him a chance to tell us what he has been doing in Africa. Huyu amezurura. He has gone far and wide. Listen to this. Alfred Eli K. Day is a global and award-winning human rights advocate. He is an honoree for the most influential people of African descent. He is a co-founder of AYLF, Africa Youth Leadership Forum, second international president, Federation of African Law Students, public speaker, AFC. I told you guys. And he is coming live from all the way in Ghana. Good morning, Alfred. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing awesome.
We are now live. We had promised that we are going to talk about Africa and our people, because I always believe that world is a global village. It doesn't really matter where you are. What matters is, are we connecting, and when we connect, what impact are we giving to our community? First of all, I've gone through your profile, but I would like my audience, because your audience know you, my audience to understand who Alfred K is, who Eli is, who Kwasi is, who Day is, and what he does.
Right, sure. Once again, thank you very much for such a warm reception. Today, a legal professional and one that believes in the power of the youth to transform the continent, one that believes in leadership development, and one that believes that when the African youth is given the opportunity, they'll be able to thrive and create a better and sustainable environment for the people of Africa to live in. One that also, like you said, I'm an honoree of the most influential people of African descent. And what that basically is because of how I've been able to galvanize support systems and human resource systems to be able to mentor young people and even to connect the people of African descent to those here in Africa to be able to drive the change that we want to see in our community. And we have done that through several means. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I believe that the little change that has seen us come this far is still that change that is going to create that better future for all of Africa to see. So I'm just a young man, a spoken word that is still existing in the hearts, a son of Africa who sees Africa to be where it is, the action point of the global force. And I know that we are going to make it happen. And so this is basically who I am. In terms of the portfolios and the places that I occupy, there are so many of them. But I believe that during the conversation, we are also going to throw more light on more of the work that we do so that our audience can also better appreciate. Thank you.
Exactly. I love it. We are broadcasting live from university. This is Kenyatta University, meaning most of our audience are people who are aged between 18 and 28. Because after 28, these people transition to do things that they learned in Kenyatta University in their community. We are the best university in Kenya. We identified a need, and it is in our community, and this need is our youth are lacking empowerment, our youth are lacking access to education, unemployment is an issue, human rights being violated. And today, because I am with you, someone who is a award-winning humanitarian, award-winning diplomat, tell us the process that led to you being the most influential people of African descent, still from Africa. Because in our side of town, Kenya, it's so hard for you to be even a school prefect or class prefect. So to rise above ladders to being the most influential person of African descent is something that has a process. Let's give this process in a minute in a way that someone at the grassroots level can understand your journey.
Sure, thank you very much. So this journey just began with I would say a prayer. So my name is Alfred Eli Kwiside, but I started this journey as well through a gift that God gave me, and it was a gift of spoken word. And so out of that, I got the name Derema, so Eli Derema. So through prayer, through communication with God, I found my purpose. And when I found my purpose, I would say that that was a turning point of everything. The moment I was able to understand the purpose for which I was living, and I also interrogated this through several books, like one from Rick Warren, Purpose-Driven Life, a few other books that I had read by Ben Carson, The Gifted Hands, and Think Big. These books changed my mindset about how I viewed life and how I viewed everything. And so it also made me connect to my innate abilities and potentials. And then I started looking at things beyond just the physical or beyond my sphere of contact. So I would then think deeper and even higher than I would project. So I don't see it just as a Ghanaian thing. I didn't see my context as a Ghanaian thing. I began to see my context and the purpose that God has given me in a global sense. And I also understood the contemporary times in which we find ourselves, which is not just an issue of you just being in your confines, but rather a global context. So I understood that I had to be an active player in this global and evolving world. And so that is what changed the direction and the dynamics. So once I was able to now identify that, it became easier for me to even effect the changes that I had to. And so it was just that change of mindset, which now propelled me to the next level of growth, of engagement with persons, and started being where important people are, I started also building strategic alliances. I understood that where I had to go wasn't just confined to one industry. So I had to now start engaging people from different industries, different walks of life. And it's widening the scope of my influence and the impact that I had to make. And then I also focus much more on where I can impact, which is the young people. And so when I was able to find the industry that was relevant to my potentials, relevant to my calling, it was easier for me to make the impact that I had to make. And so it was a call for me to live a purposeful life that drove me to all the things that are here today and the global influence that I was able to get, including the most influential people of African descent. I started in 2021, I was elected as president of the Federation of African Law Students, which is the unifying body for young lawyers and law students across the continent. And through that, I was able to bring other continental associations together, which also fostered same result. And so several international law associations, we try to bring them all on board. And today we have seen our influence in over 45 African countries. And so that is how it all started. And this is how far we have come. And there is still more to come. And I know that this is just the beginning of a very long journey.
Thank you so much. For the people who are from East Africa and are not well traveled, how is Ghana like? What is a youth of Ghana going through in a daily basis?
Yeah, so Ghana is amazing. I mean, even though we are not the first, I would say that we are the first born of Africa in the sense of the fact that we were the first to gain our independence. Aside that, the Ghanaian youth is very ambitious, very ambitious and very confident. And Ghana is more like a pulse of West Africa. I know that my Nigerian friends would not agree with me on this, but it's more like the pulse of West Africa. It is where West Africa finds most of its life. Majority of the global forces, and I'm talking about the heavyweights in West Africa, are from Ghana. You know, the likes of Kofi Annan and co are all West Africans. And we know we have the father of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah as well, as a Ghanaian. And so these personalities have actually helped drive some sort of important stakeholder engagement here in the youth here. And the youth are, through this, also getting some sort of inspiration to do even better. So today, if you come to Ghana, you'd realize that the youth are really inspired and motivated to do very greater works. And it's really inspiring to see my colleagues and the great things they are doing. And we learn from each other. And that is how we've been able to build ourselves and grow even better.
Thank you so much. That is so inspiring and so motivational. I was waiting eagerly for the 21st and 23rd May, whereby we are going to have Africa Youth Summit that I understand has been postponed. I would love us to unpack this Africa Youth Empowerment Summit and get to analyze its importance to the African people. Why is it right? Why is it important? Why should we have it as people of African descent?
Yeah, thank you very much. And so just to confirm, we haven't postponed. Am I audible?
You're just hanging, but you're audible.
Am I audible? Can you confirm whether I'm audible?
You're audible now.
Okay, good. Yes, awesome.
I'm
Yes.
requesting
So
if you
I was
could.
saying that.
Sorry, I am requesting
Yes,
if you could pull up and start again.
All right, sure. All right, thank you very
You
much.
are an artist, right?
Yeah,
so you understand pull up. DJ, pull up.
Yes.
Started from the top. Let's go.
Right, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, so like I was saying, we haven't necessarily postponed this. We didn't anticipate the number of registrations that were coming, and so logistics were not prepared for the overwhelming number of persons who were now interested in being a part of it, and even partnerships that were coming in at the latter stage. We realized that continuing would just be us not giving them that sort of huge, impactful summits that they were expecting, because the number was huge, and wanted to see how we would be able to accommodate that number. We didn't want to exempt anyone as well from being a part of it. Now, what we are doing is that we are going to rather, during this period, 21st to 23rd, accommodate them virtually while we make that in-person, what's it called? Make that in-person provision for them to be a part of the conversation while we have anticipated the huge number of registrations that are coming. So it's still going to be happening, but virtually, to accommodate the number that we didn't expect. Again, it's to tell you how much the African youth is hungry for such initiatives and such empowerment programs. I was astounded to see the overwhelming number of persons that wanted to be a part of this conversation. And so I'm looking at this from that perspective, and I know that once we still give them the best through this virtual engagement, the in-person one is going to be massive, trust me, and you should be there. You and your team will be there to cover that great historic engagement in Kenya. It's still going to be in Kenya, and we cannot wait to see you.
It's a privilege, it's a blessing for Kenya to be the country chosen to host the Africa Youth Empowerment Summit 2025. And we are honored to do this. We will be there. Personally, I've been following you with the name of learning. I want to do more impact for my community, and I feel whatever I've been doing is not enough. So I have to learn from people from other countries. What are they doing from their countries? What are they doing from their environment and spaces, so that I can try and reach people like Baden Powell's dream of, if you sweep your place, I sweep mine, the whole world will be clean. Now, the Africa Youth Summit has some themes that highlights governance, they highlight human rights, they highlight tech transformation, all this geared towards investing in youth. In all these themes, which do you think is the one important that youth should pay all their attention to?
Trust me, it would be very, very difficult to choose one particular thing. And the reason is because I always talk about the youth economy and as the driving force of the African population, as the ones that are most populated on the continent. It's always important to see the need for that ecosystem. So you realize that all these industries you're mentioning, and the organizers of the summit were very particular in choosing the various thematic areas that would constitute the conference, like the continental integration and regional collaboration. You cannot do away with it, especially in the time in which we find ourselves with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, where trade must be around ourselves. We have seen that when ties are severed between countries in regions, we can see some of the volatility of security issues that happens, which also means that regional collaboration is very important. We've seen the unity in East Africa and how even it has helped in the language speaking, the Kiswahili that has been spoken in East Africa. When you go to Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, and all of these countries speaking one language through the regional collaboration, we've seen SADC and the influence it's had. We've seen ECOWAS and the influence it's had. I don't have to get a visa to travel to Nigeria, the Gambia, Liberia, and all of that. So these are also very important conversations, especially because of the times in which we find ourselves, where we believe that there shouldn't be restriction in terms of travel among ourselves as a people, as the African community. So that is also very important. And then we have the evolving world, which has brought about technology and AI, which is a very, very important conversation that we need to have. One that is actually laying people off jobs, one that is creating unemployment. And I say this because today, some of the youth that are not well versed in technology and all of these basic skills are not able to get along with the times in which we find ourselves, which require these digital skills. So this is also very important, not just for you to be in the working space, but even for you as an entrepreneur to be able to also meet the demands of the growing global community. And then we have the issue of women's rights and children's rights. Very important conversation. Gender-based violence hasn't ended. And it is now the need for all of us to join forces together to be able to mitigate the losses and the implications that these vices have had also on our society. Governance structures, you would agree with me that today there are some of the youth, and I saw the resilience of the Kenyan youth asking for accountability, asking that the governance structures in the countries should be properly set in place for the Kenyan youth to have a thriving and an enabling environment to thrive. And so these are also very important conversations that we should be having. So coming together, you'd realize that what is the most important thing to us organizers of this summit was to talk about the ecosystem, where all these actors will be able to come together and be one economy and drive one economy. An economy that will have the governance structures, people in diplomacy engaging, and an economy that will have the tech people also relying on each other. So if someone has a business and they need a tech facilitator or a tech-driven solution, how do they rely on that? And how does this rely on that? So the ecosystem now becomes the most important conversation, not a particular industry, but how all these industries will come together to create a community where the youth will not just be spectators, but participants of a great economy that Mother Africa has left us.
That is so powerful, that is so impactful, that is so helpful to the Kenyan youth. I feel like the call is one. The clarion call is to bring all these youths together so that they can now form ways and measures to ensure that they are revolutionizing economy from whatever world they are coming from. If you are coming from tech world, we meet here. If you are coming from artists world, we meet here. If you're coming from advocacy world, you advocate for GBV, you advocate for SRH, we meet here. If you come from the world of diplomacy, law, like yourself, we meet here and reason together. We ask ourselves then, how are we making this economy better in places where we are? You are an artist yourself, you said so. How was your life then? And how has it helped you now? And what are you doing about your artistic life?
Sure, thank you very much. That is an area of myself that I didn't actually see coming. I always knew that I was a creative person. I would actually, my mother is a fashion designer. So growing up, I didn't know I had that sort of creative, like too much of a creative, arts something. So I would usually recreate my bow tie. So the bow tie that I would buy, I would just recreate it and then find a different way of letting it align. Something that hasn't been seen, and I'll take a thread, my mother's thread, and then I'll re-sew it into a different piece. So it wouldn't just be the bow tie that I bought, it's just something different. So I'll do that at my young stage. And then I also knew how to write poems. So I started writing poems. So there was this time when we had to do a program. And then those who knew that I was a good poet told me that they think that I should recite one of my poems. And I said, okay, why not? I mean, that's a good idea. This is years ago. And so I put together a piece, very wonderful piece, and then I recited. And I recited with so much passion. And so when I finished, someone came to me and said that what you did is called spoken word. In fact, I didn't know what spoken word was. I was just an innocent, talented young man and just did my thing. And then I started looking out for it and I said, oh, so this is what spoken word was about. Now, that was a game changer for me because it began my public speaking career. Through that, I was able to speak to thousands of people. I remember there was a conference for youth which had over thousands of people and people from the diaspora and all of that. And I gave my spoken word piece from 5 to 10 minutes. And when I finished and I got a standing ovation, I was like, ooh. I never saw this coming. I never thought I would be a public speaker, but the gateway to my public speaking was my talent, my spoken word talent, my poetry talent, which opened a platform for me to start speaking to people, start having audiences. I've had heads of state as my audiences. I've had chief justices and people from all walks of life. And it's been a great privilege, and I'm very grateful that God was able to give me that talent because it opened me up a lot. It helped me in my confidence and all of that. So that is how my art, my artistic self broke me out into the limelight of public speaking.
You know, I am so glad because when we were preparing this interview or launch with you, I had hoped that you were here. So one thing that I asked God is, let me feel the same way as if you are here, since the world is a global village. And I'm telling you, I'm learning bit by bit, I'm enjoying bit by bit, and I am hoping my audience too are grabbing something here, there, and time is not on our side. So I want to ask a question, and this question, in 2 minutes, you give me everything about the summit. First of all, we've all agreed that Africa Youth Empowerment Summit is a tick. That's why we are calling it IS 2025. The real problem that we have identified and we are talking about today is African youth leadership and unemployment. So how does Africa Youth Empowerment Summit address this? Keep aside or keep away all the motivation, practical ways that will help African youth in this summit to evade unemployment or to do better. So,
for sure.
Yeah, also tell me how you've packaged it in the 3 days. On first day, you'll do this, second, third, until you get and the registration and how they can register.
For sure. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. And yes, I love your energy as well. I think that it is the energy that is making the room very lively, and it's almost appearing as if we are in the same room. And I cannot wait to meet you in person when we are having our in-person summit, so that we can have more fruitful interaction. Yeah, so the issue with so the question you asked, which is the summit itself and what it consummates now, and how it solves youth leadership crisis and also unemployment issues. This is what I was saying earlier about the ecosystem we are trying to build. Now, one of the problems with Africa is partnership. Now, the issue is we are unable to go as far as we can because of individualistic or individualism. People want to go alone. We don't want to come together. You'd realize that that has been the sole reason why Africa hasn't really been where it has to be, because we are not together, because we are not united. So in the higher scale of things, even at the national level, you'd realize that that is the problem that they created for us through the Berlin Conference, that we would be apart. Now, that is the same thing with technology, and that is the same thing with ecosystems, and that is the same thing with the economy. You cannot set industries apart. Industries must be unified. And so when you see the European system, you realize that they have a system where all of them use the same currency, all of them are quite connected, and you can actually from this place work on another jurisdiction, and it happens that is the effect. Now, what we are seeking to do with the African Youth Empowerment is to create that sort of youth economy and conversation where we'll be able to now create a solid system where we'll be able to break that barrier. Now, it is all about systems. And when you are able to decode the system and you have active participants in the system, things begin to change. Now, you think about it this way, we always thought that there was going to always be the financial systems were this way. Who determines how much Kenya is worth? Who determines how much Ghana is worth? And then there is a young man who decided that I am going to do a digital currency. And that digital currency, even though it wasn't embraced by people, with time, people started using that digital currency. People started paying for commodities with that digital currency. And today, that digital currency has been legalized in several countries. And that digital currency is being used by several countries. And that digital currency has now become of value. So it means that once you're able to find loopholes in systems and come together and you're illuminated as a group, we'll be able to change the system. We have identified that the world is changing. People need digital skills. If we are unable to give them this digital skills, they will not be able to also find themselves fit in that system, which is why we are bringing all these digital literacy materials to the people so that they will be able to, while running their business, incorporate this digital literacy, because it's not enough to just have a business, but you have to incorporate human rights principles. You have to also incorporate these digital principles to be able to compete with the growing world. Now, what we sought to do was create that ecosystem. All of us relying on each other, creating this system so that we'll be able to have that conversation over and over. So day one, we're focusing on law, governance, and diplomacy to have conversations around these areas to see how we can change it, how peace and security will not be an issue, how we as a youth can also play a part in this structure. You don't necessarily have to be in government to be able to drive policies or to effect policies. So we want the people to understand that. You understand? And then also day two, we are driving conversations around innovation, technology, climate action. You don't have to be a climate activist to be able to keep your environment clean. So these are just the basic things. So when we are able to, we don't have to leave these conversations to the people in these areas alone. When we bring that ecosystem and we bring the technology people to also let people understand in their fields what this is all about, and these people also understand what this is all about, the African youth becomes more illuminated and understand that these systems can work in our favor if we all put our hands on the wheel. The day three will then be touching more on social justice, human rights, and then also community development, which is what we wanted to now end the summit with, and then go to Kibera to do the Kibera Transformation Project, which is a huge project, impactful project to change Kibera as the youth in the next few years. We know that that's the largest slum in Africa. We know that that place is a place, it's like the entire conversation we want to have now is in Kibera, because there is waste management issue, there is digital literacy issue, there is government issue, there's human rights issue, medical issue, food insecurity issue. While we have had this conversation at the summit, we go to Kibera to actualize the conversation in Kibera, for the people of Kibera to understand that this is why we are here, for us to understand that it's not just about talks, it's not just about coming to have tea, coffee at a summit, but then to actualize the conversations that we have in our communities, so that people in the community will understand that we are here for them, we are all together, and we are building their communities together. And so that is what the IS Summit sought to do, to actualize conversations that we are having in at the summit in Kibera, so that after we have had this, we'll have a sustainable project where we'll come back to Kibera every 6 months, every year, to find out how we are working towards creating a sustainable community for all of us. Mind you, the problem in Kibera is not a Kenyan problem, it's an African problem, because we don't have Kenyans living in Africa and Nigerians living in Africa. We have Africans living in Nigeria, Africans living in Kenya, Africans living in Ghana. It's just an issue of geography. So it's a collective problem we all face as Africans, except it's not perhaps geographically where I find myself. And so this is why we are having this conversation, to see how we'll be able to change the situations that we find in our communities. And trust me, it's going to happen. Dreams delay is not dream denied. We are going to meet again very, very soon in Kenya. I cannot wait to meet the resilient Kenyans, the Kenyans who stood their grounds to ask for accountability, the young people that I met last year in October were that driving force that Africa is waiting for. And we cannot wait to meet again very, very soon. I cannot wait to see you in the studio, and I cannot wait to see you on panels as well, and even in our community drive.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, LK. Now I consider you a friend, so allow me to address you as LK. Ladies and gentlemen, mmesikia vile hii conversation ni important for us. Hii conversation ama hii summit ni important kwa kila youth, na itakuwa inahakikisha kwamba we change these things in our society. We are done with the African youth leadership and empowerment conversation. Tumeaddress unemployment na watu waendelee kuregister. Itakuwa hapa Kenya, Kenya School of Government. Hapo ndo itafanyikia kwa mpigo tena zaidi. I will be there. Saizi nataka tutoke hapa hivi. We go for a very short break. Lakini tukirejea, we still now have to talk about art and mental health, and we also make sure we are discussing everything that is happening in our country through these newspapers. These papers are meant for us, so we'll be making sure that we get deep down into them with another inspirational leader who is doing now so much in his community. Fortunately, he's from Kenya. Hapa tu Kariobangi North. Someone you can just knock at the door na umfikia. I will be joining Youth the Green Society CEO Dennis Kimani. We talk about now the youth, the leadership, the mental health, everything that is reflected on this newspaper review. Nikienda hapo hivyo kwa hiyo short break, jiulize mbona advertisement yako haiko katikati ya show, inaenda kwa promo. Kompigo tena zaidi. Art and culture inarejea.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
Fashion. It's more than just clothes. It's a statement, a feeling. An art form, a way to express yourself, a reflection of who you are. It's Fashion Diaries. Join me, Ashley Asachi, every Monday from 8 p.m. as we bring you Kenya's latest trends. Imagine fashion designers glamorous fashion events, runway shows, red carpet events, and so much more. Fashion Diaries, unleashing your inner fashionista.
Tunachimba hadi mizizi kukuletea yanayojiri.
So mimi naomba tu serikali yetu ya Mungu, jibarikiwe na Mungu, iweze kuteremsha bei ya mafuta.
Yanayokukumba tuna maizi, tunakutetea sisiri. Kwa kweli ni speciali tukikupambia makala ya mwanamke mwake. Utasema hupendi mizizi ya habari. Nami Caroline.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili. Hiyo inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni leo Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
It depends what kind of media you're consuming. Kama una consume, let's say, spiritual, like vitu positive, you'll have a positive side of media. But when you consume like negative things, obviously it will just affect you like negatively. So it depends too, wanna choose as a person, wanna choose consume which kind of media, social media, what kind of content umeamua ku consume, ndio ita reflect in your like mental health and all.
Social media, most of the time ukiingia social media unapata watu wanga wana fake life. So basically mimi venye naonanga social media like ina affect negatively kwa mental health yetu. Like ukiangalia mtu ana fake life and unaona wewe una pesa, so una feel like yo uko so like uko anakupata expectations mingi yenye uko anga nayo. Sasa afadhali live life bila social media.
No, because as Gen Zs, most of us, we find comfort in things that, I don't want to say in bad things, because maybe they are not bad things, but we find ourselves finding comfort in things that are not helping our mind in the right way, because we often look for temporary solutions, and which they help for a while, then you go back to where you are.
That also just depends on your friend group. Hawezi to generalize ati Gen Z. Me as a Gen Z, niko a different opinion na wewe as a Gen Z. We're just Gen Zs because of our age bracket. But now tukisema our mental health, ni just friend group unatembea nayo. If unatembea na watu who are mentally aware, who talk about mental health, wenye waichukulia as a bad thing, wanachukulia vizuri, your mental health utakuwa sawa. But ukiamua kutembea na your group yenye ukiongelea mental health unaanza kuambiwa you are weak, sijui nini. It just depends with the group unatembea nayo na watu una interact nao, vitu una interact nazo.
Gen Z, me personally naonanga niko na friends wanga tuna check on each other, like mtu anaweza post status a react muongee kiasi, like sio kuongea hivyo sana. Like kuna watu ma friends kiasi wenye wako close wanga wana check on you, wanga tunasupportiana.
Okay, as for me, as I've told you, I prefer talking to AI. To AI? Yeah. Are you speaking with AI? Yeah.
I'd advise them to go to seek assistance from a therapist, and as a friend, maybe encourage them, give them words of encouragement, and yeah, I think that could help.
First, I must listen to. Wajua kusikiza msee inasaidia. You might not bring the solution, but kumwacha air out, aseme kitu anafikiria. That's help. Listening, just being there for them when they need you. Just listen. Ni help enough. But if they need more help than what I can offer, me, I'm worrying about them. They are stressing. Naeza maybe but as for me, I'll just listen to you, give you my own point of view, but not a solution.
Maybe unaweza advice like akwambie whatever ana go through, na ukwe there maybe ku listen, like ukwe ready ku listen to, like listening at least anaona kuna mtu anamsikiza, so inaweza msaidia in a way.
Okay, just to tell them, if someone is going through something, I can just tell them that's not the end of it, and they should make peace with the fact that the problems of this world does not come to an end. So if you're thinking something is stressing you, and then maybe you'll be depressed, and after that you'll come over it, next time you'll come to a bigger problem that will also depress you. So look for a strategy that you're going to solve all your problems, and definitely you'll have solved all of your problems by accepting that the problems of this world does not come to an end. No matter who you are, no matter the amount of resources or wealth you have, problems will always come.
As we've all heard, each person has their own experience, but one thing that sticks out is how they all struggle with sharing what is going on. This month being Mental Health Awareness Month, I hope everyone takes care of their mental health and you embrace the sense of community, which is the theme of this month.
Lisa, a very good job from youths wenye wanasema you are not alone. It's mental health awareness, and those youths are part of us. They are our people. They've made even the comment section is going wild. People are talking everything to do with mental health, everything to do with their art life, everything to do with what we are discussing today. And we are coming live now for newspaper review right here on KUTV Rise Today Art and Culture Monday. Ningependa nipitie some of the comments zenyu hapo nje. Nianze na Enoch Man anasema watching live from Ruiru. Asanteni sana watu wa Ruiru. Enoch Man ako live kwa mpigo tena zaidi. We have V Trends anasema tuned in. Washeke Njoroge anaongezea anasema informative. This particular show is informative. Tales by Rizzi, the morning show in 254 right now. Hakuna ingine noma tena zaidi. Na kama hiyo imekuwa noma now, saa hii tunaguza mpaka na Swahili. Youth Green Society CEO yuko hapa tucheke. Bado anaendelea kuchambua gazeti pale hivyo, because we are giving you a show yenye unasomea hapo ndani bado kwa mpigo tena zaidi. Comment ingine nataka kusoma nikizimalizia hizo zingine tutaendelea katikati ya show. Ni ya John Kagai anasema amazing show kwa mpigo tena zaidi. Farid anasema on top of that anaekelea hadi moto anasema show on. Brighton Moremi anasema amazing topics lined up today. Can't wait to engage. Let's continue engaging guys on YouTube. 73.4k subscribers. Tuna move so swiftly. Nataka tufike 100k in just 2 months. Kwa mpigo tena zaidi, and it is very possible. Hawa wengine nitapitia zao lakini siwezi taka niwache. Gloria Masi anasema I am looking forward to attend the Africa Youth Empowerment Summit. Hizo ndo vitu tunatafuta. Then after you attend, whatever you learn, whatever impact you get, tunaitake nyumbani, inakuwa noma tena zaidi. This is KUTV Rise to the Art and Culture Monday. Na magazeti yanalia. Dennis Kimani, magazeti yanalia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Umekuwaje?
Nimekuwa freshi.
So the last time tulipatana na wewe tulikuwa the Waste Symposium.
Kabisa.
The Waste Symposium ilikuwa a learning experience moja kubwa tena zaidi, where CBOs from all over Nairobi County, waste speakers wote. Waste speakers inakaa kama waste speakers. Okay, waste speakers. Yeah. Wale wa kuokota takataka. Wakafika hapo hivyo, very interactive session yenye walisema kila mtu mwenye ni pateka, mwenye ni stakeholder lazima kuwe kwa hii summit ndio iendelee. Yeah. At some point hadi ili halt because there are some stakeholders wenye hawako. That was our very first Waste Summit.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to the audience wenye ni wageni on Art and Culture Monday.
Yes.
Let them know what you've been doing at the community level.
Yes.
And the impact of the Waste Symposium that you organized on 29th May 2025.
Yeah. Thank you, Mariam. I am so grateful to KUTV for always giving me a chance to articulate youth issues and also agendas on environment. I will start by looking at the Gazette because of the symposium. We did a very good symposium on 29th of April.
Sorry, I said May.
Yeah,
sorry,
it was
29th April 2025.
Yes, it was successful because we had the chance to talk, exchange ideas. We had also a chance to secure another meeting with the county government of Nairobi so that we can continue with the discussion. But today on this Gazette, we can see there's a feature that is saying 2 cities, 1 crisis. This is about the plastic pollution. If you look at this Gazette, you can see the plastic pollution is still a menace in this country. They are saying...
Let them know which page you are reading.
This is page 7 on health and science.
The standard?
So this is standard. So what I'm saying is that you can see 2 cities in Nairobi, in Kenya, 8,000 kilometers away. They are suffering about what we are doing in Charter Hall in April 29. But we are hoping that going forward, as we continue fighting for the community and vying for electoral seats, we are going there to change for the better of Kenyans. Yes.
So we've joined 2 things now.
Yeah.
The problem of garbage, the problem of drainage, the problem of environment.
Yeah.
Na nasikia kama umeyoanisha na politics juu umemalizia ukasema about the kind of leadership we have.
Yes.
On newspaper they're talking so much about the kind of leadership we have and the issues they are talking about vis-a-vis the issues that we are going through as mostly the youth of this country because we form the majority.
Yes.
Saizi ni over 65%. Niliachaga kusema tuko 70%.
Juu
tunasemaga tuko 70%. Tukifika kwa debe the minority wenye ni wadogo hao wazee ndo usema.
Yes.
Juu sisi we are just passive participants, not active participants.
Sure.
Tumewekewa ile story ya wewe kijana kiongozi wa kesho. So unakaa ukidhani kesho ni leo, kesho ikifika naambia wewe kijana, tulikuambia wewe ni kiongozi wa lini? Kesho haijafika.
Yeah.
So saizi wanasema on Daily Nation, President allies says former DP has resorted to turning his personal challenges into a national crisis. Wanasema Gachagua faces arrest. And on page 4 of the Daily Nation, they've expounded on how President Ruto's close allies, the Deputy President and Interior Cabinet Secretary, sustained the messaging throughout the weekend that former DP Rigathi Gachagua is not untouchable and that he will be arrested for alleged incitement as he stepped into blistering attacks on the government. Mi waambia wasee aje, ukishamaliza kusoma gazeti, angalia ni nini hawaja kuambia. Let's address ni nini hawaja tuambia hapa hivi. Na ni nini yenye ni important kwetu.
I feel some of the people in the government have butterflies. Kwa sababu they already eaten their mistake. It was a mistake to impeach the deputy president, Gachagua.
They forgot an idle mind.
Yeah, it's a devil's workshop. Why? Because at least in the constitution of Kenya, it is stipulated that the work of the deputy president is to deputize. When Ruto is there, Gachagua is not there. So wangeacha Gachagua kae pale with no portfolio, because even Uhuru Kenyatta showed us the work of the deputy president is to deputize me, and the only work the deputy president will do, it is the work that is assigned by the president. So the president assigned Gachagua to be a tangatanga, a noise maker, and an empty debe. So he should not be crying. This is what he made it for himself.
Deno.
Yeah.
For the purpose of substantiating.
Yeah.
Our Kenyan constitution did away with the vice president.
Yes.
They said the vice president is an assistant.
Yes.
If I am not the president, you are the president.
Yes.
That is very passive.
Yes.
It's not active.
Yeah.
The Constitution of Kenya 2010 was seeking to make sure that this vice president is not just a flower girl.
Yes.
Or a spectator waiting for a time when the president will die and us, the taxpayers, are still paying him.
Yeah.
We are calling him a principal assistant.
Yeah.
Assistant si the same na principal assistant.
Yeah.
Hata kwa setup ya shule kwenye kuna kuaga na principals, principals ni kitu kikubwa sana.
Yeah.
With roles and functions.
Yeah.
Sasa tukisema Rigathi president hamtaki.
Yeah.
Lakini for the sake of peace aendelee kukaa hapa akulage pesa za hawa wa Kenya watu wa ushuru. Yeah. Eti juu kukuwe na peace.
One thing I can say, it was not up to the president to impeach him. If Gachagua felt he was sidelined, like how the president did in the former regime, he was sidelined. He was not being given jobs. So Ruto had a better chance to resign than Gachagua, because Gachagua was still doing his job that was given. Alikuwa amepewa kazi ya kupigana na pombe. He was still fighting that. Alikuwa amepewa kazi ya kuhakikisha Raila Odinga ataingia State House. He was still doing that until the last minute. So I don't feel that he was doing anything different. Actually, he was doing different things than what William Ruto was doing as a deputy president, because when William Ruto was the deputy president, he was fighting a government that he was not sitting. It is better Gachagua is out of this government, and he has never aligned it with aligned the government with
himself. Anaweza rusha jab.
Yeah, anaweza rusha jab.
Bila kuangalia you are my big brother.
Yeah, lakini ukikumbuka William Ruto, yeye
alikuwa anaogopa.
Hata si kuogopa, yeye mafuta ikienda juu, he's on top of SUV vehicles that have been fueled by the government.
Na mafuta imeenda juu.
Na mafuta iko juu. Kuambia wa Kenya mafuta iko juu. So, just to finish up is to say that Gachagua has his chance because he was impeached illegally. The impeachment also was not on the cases of fraud, because it was just because he took money from his brother. Let us talk about Uhuru Kenyatta's family. Do you know Uhuru Kenyatta cannot divide any property that was left by his father? Why? Because that property does not belong to him. It belongs to the whole family. So watu walikuwa na shida gani Gachagua akiachiwa mali ya brother yake? But what I can say is that we are anticipating that the judiciary, hata tukiangalia hapa on page on Daily Nation, page 10, we have about the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice, it is page 10. The Chief Justice is still having loggerheads with the JSC. It's going to be JSC. She's going to be impeached. Why? Because the politics of the day are not on her side. And if you can remind you what the court said on the impeachment of Gachagua, this matter was non-justiciable. That was the ruling. Non-justiciable was meaning that this matter of impeachment kumeingililiwa na siasa, and so the court cannot do anything. What we are going to urge the courts on the headlines of the Standard, we are seeing a pendulum, a balance.
Hapo ndio tulikuwa tuende.
Tumalize
hii hapo, hiyo headline ya tumalize hii ya Martha Koome. Ndio tuwanishe hii na yenye iko kwa the Standard. Tumalizie hii.
What I wanted to say is that the corridors of power have been hijacked by politics. That's why we can see that if politics are on the wrong side, nothing will go right in Kenya. What we are asking the court is that Gachagua was impeached from the executive, and we have 3 arms of government. The parliament was the one that impeached Gachagua and reinstated Kindiki as the DP. What the court can do for Kenyans is that it should reinstate Gachagua so that you can have 2 DPs. Because this was envisioned even before the 2022 elections.
So Deno, as that is happening, the complaint that is awaiting consideration and determination by Judicial Service Commission, another person who is facing same tasks is DCJ Philomena Mwilu for those same acts. We are talking about justice here, justice there. But the justice that is on the Standard is the one that is captured. Now talk about it. The Standard.
I will start. The Standard has given us a very good capture of how there is injustice in Kenya. And there is already a good example. Why? We have Mutahi Kagwe and we have Waitito. How is Waitito better than or worse than Mutahi Kagwe? Waitito is how?
Let's do this. Let's address this comparison. What has Waitito done? What has Mutahi Kagwe done? So that now even the audience at home when you wanna watch, waweze kujiuliza hiyo swali na kwenye tutajibu waweze kujijibu.
Kabisa. Waitito was the governor of Kiambu, right? He was told we were told that he embezzled funds. Alinunua ploti na pesa ya county, and that's why he is in jail now in committee. They have refused to give him bail for the second time. But Mutahi Kagwe, the president of Republic of Kenya, when he was fighting the dynasty, he told us that Mutahi Kagwe ni mwizi na ni mwizi hata wa madawa na ni mwizi wa magonjwa. But how comes Mutahi Kagwe from nowhere he is cleansed? And that's why you are seeing from this, they are saying that state agencies have been weaponized to protect interests which appear to be purely commercial. Ruto is relying on this weaponization along with aging political allies to prevent his government from collapsing. Because how did Mutahi Kagwe become a clean as cotton? After embezzling the KEMSA money, after the COVID-19 billionaires. So what we are saying is that it is just the same forest, different monkeys.
Same forest, different monkeys. We talk about these monkeys and the forest. Let's call this forest Kenya. And that's where we are. But these monkeys we are talking about are parents. They have children. Children who will grow and want to inherit what their father has been doing. Meaning, if we are talking about them as monkeys because of what they are doing, then the future is not different. The future is the same, because as a dad, I'm supposed to inspire my daughter to do better than I did. But kama mimi kazi yangu ni kuiba mpaka napewa majina kama hayo, so then I've not made change. You've been interacting with youth from your community, coming from Kariobangi North, according to your profile and according to what I know, because you are my friend. Vijana wanataka nini? How do we get now these justices? How do we run this country? What do they want? Chaukwelo, si ile ya kuchocha ya Twitter. What do they want?
The truth of the matter is there is no change in Gachagua, there is no change in Ruto, there is no change in Matiang'i. Kenyans want real leadership. See siasa ya destroying one another because of tribal politics, blocking a lot of development because of political interest. Vijana tunataka mtu mwenye atasema kama Mutahi ni mwizi tumpate jela, kama Waitito ni mwizi tumpate jela. When shall we have a recovery of assets that are proceeds of corruption, yet kama sahi tunaona there's still corruption that is flowing in Kenya. Ukiangalia land rates of 50 billion in Nairobi, they have not been paid. Yet waste is being thrown outside the Kenya Power House wakipigania 10 billion tender. So it is very inappropriate for the government to be fighting things when the common mwananchi is struggling. And the same people we went to the street to fight for, these are police. Their budget has been cut. So we want to tell the police and the public, people who are working in the public, the Gen Z came out from to the street on June 25th to fight for you. Mimi sina mshahara. Unless I become the next MCA for Kariobangi North, I will never be cut anything.
Are you still on the race?
I'm on the race, absolutely. So what I'm telling the police, mumetumaliza. The first time in Kenya we are seeing a KDF budget cut. Have you ever had the military ikiwa na budget cut? And this is the same mistake that the government did in June 25th. Tumechoma bunge, asubuhi 30-minute session. Wameingia, they have given the KDF the power to take over the street. And that I can tell you without fear of contradiction. And anyone who is listening to me, kutoka June 25th, Kenya ni ya wanajeshi. Ilichukuliwa na wanajeshi. And William Ruto was very clever to finish CDF Ogola. Because if CDF Ogola was alive today, hii Kenya ingekuwa ya jeshi. We could have gone Burkina Faso way. Because already the police walishindwa kufanya kazi. And that's where we saw even the Blood Parliament documentary. A whole military officer shooting at a Kenyan. That was the worst of the worst we'll ever see.
Bro, tunaweza enda jela mimi na wewe.
Yes.
Juu tumesema that President Ruto finished Ogola.
Yes.
Can we really substantiate that?
No, you cannot tell me. A CDF, when you look at the constitution of the army, a CDF should go anywhere with 7 helicopters. How can you tell me a helicopter of a CDF, a whole CDF, it's faulty? That helicopter is supposed to be checked, supervised, before ata Ogola ende mahali, 1 month before. So that was, and there's some news that, I don't know if it's rumors or true.
Unajua kwa nini nilikuwa nasema hivyo?
Yeah.
Because this is allegedly.
Yeah.
It is in public domain.
Yeah.
Kila mtu, as long as unakuwa TikTok, unakuwa Twitter, have the same sentiments that you've just given.
Yes.
But officially and on paper, they've not given us that.
1 year after Ogola died, we took on survivors. How did those people survive a plane that died and killed the CDF?
A CDF who has gone to US and trained.
Yes. Died on the spot.
With the Navy SEAL on air.
That is something that even the Luos we are telling them.
Yes,
and that's why we are seeing even Raila Odinga is confused because the same person who wanted to kill him, Kindiki, na tunakumbuka vizuri maandamano ya sufuria. Unakumbuka maandamano ya sufuria? Kindiki alifinya baba hata kutoka Karen. Tulimgojea pale Kamkunji akuje. Baba was nowhere to be seen. In the evening you just saw ati gari ya baba imegongwa. Ukweli ama uongo?
Ukweli.
And that was Kindiki who wanted to kill baba. Na sijui baba amesahau aje. And we want also to ask the people of Nyanza. Mwachaneni na Orengo. Orengo has been there to fight for Raila Odinga.
For them.
For them.
Not for Raila Odinga,
yeah,
for them.
For them for all that time. But now, because Orengo cannot go to bed with William Ruto, wamesema Orengo ndio mbaya, Babu Owino ndio mbaya, Sifuna ni mbaya. Let me tell you, nobody in ODM will get re-elected if not only those 3.
Walai.
Yes.
Time will tell. On page 2 of the Standard, democracy held hostage by hired hooligans ahead of 2027 elections. I don't want us to talk about politicians. I don't want us to talk about the financiers. I want to talk about the hired hooligans.
Yes.
Why would you allow yourself to be hired to go fight your fellow youth who is hungry just like you? Si sote tunatafuta chakula?
Yes.
Kama sote tunatafuta chakula, ni wapi hapa tunafika tunaanza kupigana? Juu tukirudi tunarudigi, okay, let me talk about us and where I come from. Tukirudi tunarudigi ghetto for watu wa ghetto.
Yes.
Si ndio? For watu ambao wanatoka Ocha, watu wa Turkana, wakirudi ni kwa hizo shanties. I hear this fight has been taken up mpaka Wajir. Tuko na ngori na kila mtu. Why are we ourselves allowing them to use us as hired goons or hooligans? Usiseme njaa.
Njaa hata si thing.
Juu hata mwenye anapigwa na huyu hooligan, hata yeye ako njaa.
Yeah. The biggest thing ni keje tumeona ni politics of tribe. Una get? Me, I want to put it cross here. Ojwang wewe ni mtu wa Nyeri. And I want us to talk it out. Bila feelings, bila tribal ama anything. How many people were in the ballot 2022? Presidential aspirants.
There were four, yeah, sorry.
There was Maore Wahiga, there was Wajakoya, there was Raila Odinga, and there was
William Ruto.
William Ruto. Luos gave Raila, right? Kalenjins gave Ruto. Si ni kweli? Wajakoya na Wahiga hawakupata chochote.
Wajakoya alipata.
Tuseme ukiangalia na wale wako
alipata kura za Twitter. I can tell you for a fact. I can tell you that everyone mwenye alichagua Wajakoya si hawa ground. Ni watu wana believe hapo Twitter hiyo story yake ya how we can revolutionize cannabis to stop iache kuonekana ikiwa kitu mbaya. Tutengeneze economy.
Makende haina.
Makende haina alianza kuharibu and others wakatoka. I remember because I hosted the running mate. Justina. Justina nani?
Wamai.
Justina Wamai. On this particular set, but then ilikuwa throwback Thursday, unakumbuka siku za Thursday. And they had so much in their plan, in their manifesto, that involves vile wanaleta do. Umeshika? You know, in other campaigns and manifestos wanaongea kama ya Baba na Azimio, they were talking about we'll give you the 6,000. They're not telling you where we're getting the 6,000 from. Hustler Fund on the other side ya UDN Kenya Kwanza wanatuambia watatupea housing, affordable houses, but they're not telling us kwenye tunatoa. Wahiga alisema nini? Sikumbuki. Ngoja, Wahiga tunataka kujua yake ni gani. But now Wajakoya yeye ilikuwa on miradi. Tutatumia hemp, tuchukue galana kulalu, tuwache kupanga mchele, tupange kitu tunauza, ndio tuweze kusustain huu kulima mwingine unatusumbua. That was a very deliberate plan, but hakupata. Sasa ulikuwa kwa hesabu ya vile Waluo walipee baba, wakale wakaamua sisi tunakalia hii wilibaro na mbwata zote mbili. Ama vitu za kulia mbwata.
Na sasa hao wakabila wa Mount Kenya walipewa Wahiga. Walinyunyuzia Raila Odinga 800,000, that was 600% increase.
Yangu ilikuwa one of them.
Si ni kweli? Raila anapataga 30,000 Mount Kenya. This time alipata 800,000. That is a 600% increase. Ule mwingine mkora anaitwa William Ruto akapata 3.8 million. So hao wakabila wa Mount Kenya mbona hawakupewa Wahiga? Mbona Wakale hawakupewa Wahiga ama Wajakoya? Mbona Wajaka hawakupatia Wahiga ama Wajakoya? Who are the real tribesmen? Tuongea tu kweli. The real people who are tribal ni Wajaluo na Wakale, kwa sababu hao ndio hawakupigia mtu mwingine kura kwa ballot isipokuwa watu wao. Mkikuyu alipigia Raila. Mkikuyu alipigia Ruto. After we have given William Ruto 3.8 votes, he had the audacity to tell us sisi ni the tribal. Kwa sababu tuliambiwa ni shareholder. And that is the truth. The politics is made by blocks and votes. We cannot bring you 3.8 million votes. Kwa sababu I can say in front of this camera, na hata ifikie William Ruto has less than 2 million votes. Na yesi pita hapo. William Ruto alishinda na 7.2. minus 3.8. Na alikuwa na basi ya Wetangula na Mudavadi. Hebu toza Waluya. Hebu toza Northeastern. William Ruto kona kura gani? William Ruto kona kura gani? Answer me. Don't we have a moment.
Umeniuliza?
Yes.
Hiyo ndio nilikuwa nangoja.
Niambie kura za William Ruto.
Mimi ningetaka kwanza na hiyo story ya tribalism. And I will tell you from a point of knowledge. Rather, you know me. Tumetembea.
Yes.
And I've interacted with almost all these communities.
Yes.
At a level yenye ni daily basis.
Yes.
I'm also a caretaker somewhere.
Yes.
And as a caretaker, wewe kazi yako ni ukuje ni kupe nyumba, and then mimi na wewe tuko na relationship ya kuangaliaga nini hadi uishe. I must learn from you, si ndio? And I have come to learn one thing that is for real and is for sure.
Yes.
Every Kenyan is tribal. Hakuna ati ndio tribal au ni tribal. We are all tribal, including myself.
No, in
listen,
the 2022 elections,
I'm telling you,
we had gone away.
Kidogo. Wewe ndio umeniita Ojwang Wanyeri.
Yeah.
There is nothing tribal about that.
Hakuna tribal.
If I'm Ojwang Wanyeri, then it means mimi mwenye ni hapo I'm not tribal, and this other side.
Yeah.
Because if we keep Kadhe,
yes,
talking about how tribalism inatu affect,
yes,
then we'll never go beyond. Because tutamaliza show kama saa hizi tuko karibu, producer Ngure atuambie, can we start winding up? Can we start winding up? But si tutakuwa tushakwama hapa, hatuja provide solution kwa hii show.
Nimesema hivyo because your Lord President will I am
He's not my Lord.
He's your Lord.
He is not my Lord.
Okay. The lords of those people who
in
are
fact,
tribal.
Mimi hata niliokoka tena. My Lord ni Jesus Christ. So the Muslims wanaamini tofauti.
Huyu president wa uongo alituambia the vita ni a hustler versus dynasty. Ni ukweli? Kwa hiyo gazeti kuna hii vita ya Gathure na Ringtone. Si ni ukweli? This is a property of a white British businessman. Si ni ukweli? In Burkina Faso, what they are doing, they are taking land from the whites, wanawapatia citizens. Mbona William Ruto hakuna kitu yote amepema hustler? Unaget? Jina hustler iliisha. Unaget? Hustlers now they cannot educate their children. Hustlers now stima iko juu kama kitu ingine. Kama ni hii unga wanasema, it's not William Ruto who dropped the unga. Is he Jesus? Ukikumbuka time ya nini? Ya Uhuru kulikuwa na kiangazi. We talked a lot of climate change issues here. Mvua ikinyesha ni William Ruto amefanya mvua inyeshe. Ukiangalia kwa hii gazeti, the prices of petroleum they are very high. What has he done? Unaget? Ukiangalia hizi mambo za affordable housing na anatuambia tunajenga. Wa Burundi ndio wanajenga brother. Burundi anaishi pale Mlango Kubwa, nyumba moja watu 20. Kuna watu wa kulala mchana na watu wa kulala usiku. Those people wanalipo 400 shillings. Can you waste your time now kwenda mjengo ya affordable housing ukalipo 400? It is not that foreign policy ni mbaya sana. And that's why you are seeing hata ukiniambia these people si njaa wako nayo. These people ni lack of jobs.
Our hooligans. Hired hooligans. As it is on page 2 of the Standard.
Sunona. And then we have a government that is saying Atigashago is the one that is preparing people to incite them for 2027 general election ati ndio alete vita. One thing tulituonesha madharau kitu ya kwanza. The truth is the block that voted this government in, it is not there. Na tusemi Mount Kenya iko kwa serikali, we have Kindiki. But that is a hand-picked deputy president. The president of the people remains to be Gachagua. And the earlier the court reinstates him, the better.
People are crying to be saved. From Saudi Arabia, they are saying, save us from Saudi Arabia. It's a nightmare there. There was a time that Tanzania's president, Mama Samia Suluhu, was talking about vile kwetu kuna mashida. Kwa jirani kuna waka. Kwa jirani kuna moshi. Sasa mahali tuko, amidst all these problems that you've highlighted, we are a resilient nation, Kenya, to a point that we are still going to Tanzania to provide support.
Yes.
For example, on page 3, Kalonzo condemns Karwa's deportation from TZ or Tanzania and calls for unity against oppression.
Yes.
As he is doing that, there are our people. I'm talking about people like activist journalist Hanifa, former CJ, Dr. Willy Mutunga, and kuna mwingine watatu. They are still detained in Tanzania, where they've gone to Tanzania to shed light. So there is so much goodness in aka kanchi kanaitwa country. If only we can harness all that energy, and we provide solutions, so that there can be a clear difference between akina Gachagua, akina Matiang'i na sisi vijana. Ndio tuache kuangalia mtu kama Morara. Tuna Morara amechange, anakaa wao, anafanyana wao. Casmuel the same, amechange, amekaa wao, ananini wao. The goal here is not for the youth to separate na tukae side yetu pekee. The goal here is for us the youths to be able to know hawa wazee. Si ni wazazi wetu na grandparents wetu. We work together. Because as you are saying, I feel like your enemy is one. Ruto, right? So you cannot remove Ruto by fighting Ruto. What is Ruto doing that is not right for our country? And how can we do better? If we remove this Ruto and those people that you guys are calling cronies, who takes over? And how do we do work? There was a day, kwa one of the morning breakfast shows, Mama Pasaris asked Casmuel on a set, vijana, hiyo time ma-CS hawako wametolewa, tukitoa hawa ma-CS tuweke nani? Na akaulizwa, wewe utasimama? Yeye alisema hata simama. So tukishawatoa hawa watu, if sisi hatutakuwa active participants by kuchukua hizi viti, then who is going to help us?
One thing I can say is that don't talk about Casmuel. He's a solo rider. Casmuel amepewa kazi na ODM.
Let's talk about the other youths when wanataka kusaidia.
Casmuel amepewa kazi na ODM, ya youth leader. Akapatikana hana ma followers.
Halai.
Sasa akakuwa sideline. So that is somebody we cannot discuss. Yeye endelee kuharibia Gen Z maandamano yake. And then he will let alone. Atapata tu suti. Either way, what I'm saying is that I want to recognize what Mother Karua have done. It has reached a point, the fight of Africa, Kenya, it's not some of the issues that we are raising, they are not emanating from our leadership only. They cross borders to Africa. The earlier Africans unite, the better. Because vita zingine tunapigania ni za Afrika ikiwa kijumla. Because it's too bad to see journalists and justice, people who are fighting for justice from Kenya being arrested in Tanzania or even being refused to go to Tanzania. It happened also in Kenya when we saw Besigye getting arrested in Kenya. I feel that the African continent is losing its mandate. And the sooner we go the Burkina Faso way, the Traore way, the better. Because we have, kama saizi kuna hizi mambo za uranium, kuna minerals mobs zinatoka Afrika zinaenda majuu. Ukiangalia kama ni gold Burkina Faso, it is one of the most poorest country in Africa, but iko na the biggest production ya gold. Sinaona. So it is better to unite, and Mother Karua is doing a lot of good job. Hata wakimfungia God will bless her. So what I'm calling for is Africa to reunite. Unaget? Because we cannot fight and win any war when you are disintegrated. Now unajua wazungu, they are very clever. We have 54 to small African state. But when you go to America, America inatoshanaje? Russia inatoshanaje? Russia now has taken over Ukraine because they have the power. Can Africa grab any land beyond its boundary? It cannot. Because one thing, we are not united. And so we are calling for unity of Africa.
We are calling for unity of Africa.
Yes. Before anything else.
Before anything else.
Yes.
So ladies and gentlemen, from Dennis himself, the clarion call is all Africans to reunite. Ni sawa. Tumekaa chini tulishajiambia sisi tumeunite, that's why we have African Union. Before that we had OAU, Organization of African Union and of African Unity, and they said that's not uniting us enough. We now have African Union. So you are saying let's please reunite. Ndo tuache ngori. Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, Kenya, DRC, Kenya, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Kenya. But as we are doing that, there are things that could help us change. And one of them is very key is education. Education ni nzuri hadi kuliko agriculture.
Yes.
Can I tell you why?
Yes.
Agriculture imekuwa the backbone of our country. Tumeishi kulima. We are still not a wealthy country. So kuna mahali ya tufanyi. Yet walami, not those people who are using tarmac, wazungu wenye wako abroad, they are using these resources that we are saying we don't have to milk us. Education inahitajika, si ndio? Ebu angalia chenye wanasema on page 7, National News on Daily Nation, that Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, are urging MPs to restore 62 billion cut from education. Are urging.
You know the problem of Kenya. Na ile siku ya maandamano kama ulikuwa tao after tuingie bunge.
Si kama tumeishi
tao. Pale Sosion
na hakukuwa gadi na ukabila by I use that point. Wacha nitumie hiyo point yako kusubstantiate kitu. Kila maandamano I have ever participated, it has never been people of the same community.
Never.
I have participated kwa maandamano na Wakale, na Waluo, na Waluya, including our friends akina Sheka. And whatever we do, even from our work experience, kama hapa KU, tunakuaga tumejaa kabila zote. Our TPM, mwenye bado ni programs control, ni Mjaka. Na mwenye alikuwa before yeye ni Mluya. In Kenyatta University in Mount Kenya. Hatuna ukabila. Tunaweza weka ukabila chini. Kwani ukabila nini? See, it's a matter of where the tribe you are born in. Huyu mwenye amezaliwa babake ni Mkikuyu na mamake ni Mjaluo. Atakuwa kwa tribe gani?
Hiyo ndio swali.
Si ndio?
Ni kama venye wanauliza Babu Owino ni wa wapi hiyo.
Bas, Babu Owino no. It's a good thing. Ati OJWANG Wanyeri. Those are good things. We address issues. And one of the issues here is how members of parliament are being begged to restore 62 billion cut. Yani mtu analia sina pesa na unamuondolea 62 billion.
Na nikuulize hii 62 billion safari ngapi watu wameenda? But what I can say is that we are waiting for IBC. These MPs that are making Kenyans cry, we are going to recall most of them. IBC is coming very soon. Hii mwaka itakuwa ni mwaka. Wacha hivyo wanauana wao wenyewe kwa mabarabara wanapigana. Now they will kill people who are taking signatures for impeachment of them, recalling of MPs. Because MPs saizi wanazunguka everywhere wakipigania CDF. Hizi CDF zikifika, tuliona huyu jamaa aitwaje wa Mumia Assist.
Peter
Salasi analipa watu na M-Pesa message ati wewe niko na pesa ngapi zako za constituency, anakutumia 20,000. Pesa yote ya CDF ameweka kwa mkopo, amechukua loan. Pesa ya CDF inaenda kulipa malon, akilipa mshahara ndio anaenda. That's why you see where did Salasi get money to open a chama. Ati Salasi anaenda hadi Mombasa, amemaliza mambo za Mumias Sugar, it is dead. Hata wakijaribu nini. William Ruto juzi alienda huko akasema Mumias Sugar tumetengeneza nini, tumefanya nini, tumenini. Hata hakufika kwa gate, miwa zote zikakatwa na zikachomwa. Why? Because people are tired of their hard-earned resources being used for nothing. Resources za Kenya zinatumiwa for joyriding, kuenda sijui mazishi ya pop, sijui kwenda wapi, sijui kwenda China. That is where our money is being used. But the most patent issue, education. CBC is flopping, it is failing. Saizi OJWANG, mzazi anaambiwa mtoto asubuhi akuje na kuku. Na jana usiku mzazi hata hakuwa na chakula ya kupea. Sasa utanunua kuku mtoto apeleke shule ama ni kwanza akule.
Sasa kama klasi ya CBC leo tumeingia classes za chef. Tunataka kuprepare kuku.
Na ni leo unafaa.
Na ticha ana kuku. Kuku itatoka wapi na watoto lazima wasome.
Unaona?
Na saa hiyo bado mzazi afford kuku. Mwalimu yeye mwenyewe hana kuku. Shule ishatolewa hizo 62 billion. Na bado tuko confused kwa university funding model.
Ukiangalia saa hizi ICT ICT, Ministry of ICT iko na pending bills na wanaitisha 25 billion budget
na wako na pending bills ile pesa ya last year walifanya
saizi.
On top of all that, sasa kwa treasury wanasema the state, this is on the Star, the state to eye banks and insurance companies to finance projects, treasury to avoid costly loans and opt for pensions. Wanasema the state resorts to pension banks and insurance to fund roads, health projects. Sindio? Roads, health projects. Roads bado tunaenda huko nje, tunakopa mikopo. Si mikopo inakuaga ni ya development. Hizi pesa zote kwani zinaenda wapi? Ziko si hizi ni pesa.
Na nikishikanisha na hiyo, ukiangalia Daily Nation,
zote mbili.
My opinion. Na since we are in Monday culture, state paying lip services to the arts.
Ni kuimbiwa tu.
Nyinyi mnalipagwa nini? Na venye nakuonaga uko hii event, uko ile event ingine, uko huko.
Tunapewa platform.
Mnapewa tu platform. You get? Because
na exposure.
They have to fight for what is theirs. Hakuna ile siku uta create a very good song, a very good painting, and then haki yako inaenda hivyo. Ukiangalia even this a musician, scandal of the dead at MCSK meeting, fuels fight over shillings 200 musicians fund. So una get, mtu ajalipo 200 million, a whole musician ajalipo 200 million. So Gen Z mmebakisha kazi gani ya kufanya? Nimeona Gen Z mmeongea hapo wengi.
Wanalia mental health. It's mental health awareness month.
I don't know what to say, but what I can tell Gen Z is that there's still time. There's still time to fight for yourself.
Haya, nataka niongeze kitu hapo mahali umesema. You don't know what to say. Juiko, you know. Mental health. And that is on the Standard, Health and Science. The resilience of amputees, despite advance in prosthetics, people living with limb loss face stigma, limited access to care, and societal barriers that continue to shape their daily struggles. But hope is on the horizon. Hiyo ndio kitu tunasema ipo siku. It's still a lip service. When you tell me that my life will be better at a certain future date, or if you die today. So, awanisha hiyo na story ya mental health, because I would like to hear what your mental health message is now that we are in a month of mental health awareness.
Actually, it's not only the month of mental health, but it's also my birthday month.
Birthday month. Unazaliwa wapi? Najua mimi nimekujua Ruiru, Nairobi.
Mimi ni mtu wa Pwani.
Nimezaliwa hapa. Hapa juu. So maana uko Mtundu.
Mambo ya mental health, I will start by telling people green spaces heal stress. The only places you can go relax ni kwa msitu, mahali kuna waterfronts. Go relax there, read a book in the forest. Kitu ingine, stop looking for jobs. Create a job.
Rudia, please.
Stop looking for jobs. Create a job. Hata hapa ukitoka hapa KU before hapa pale Chandaria imeandikwa tu vizuri. We are not job seekers. We are job creators. Na hapo ndio inaleta shida kubwa sana. Ukiangalia kama kitu tulikuwa tunafanya symposium. Saa hizi organics ziko na lot of money. Una get? Watu wanagonjeka magonjwa juu ya kuona dump sites everywhere, smells mbaya. How can you eliminate organics from the environment through black soldier fly? Uliziona pale Charterhall. Wadudu wanamaliza the fasten decomposition of organics na inakuwa ni do, because what I can tell you isipokuwa hapo kwa this disease yenye iko hapa kwa Daily Nation that is common causing mental health. Other common mental health causes ni njaa. Zingine ni kukosa do.
Isipokuwa hii yenye unaweza ingia kama hauwezi ingia kwa chemist akupea hii dawa ya mental health. Ni njaa.
Because watu mimi by the hata mimi nikiamka asubuhi na sina hata 10 bob, I get sick.
You get
because
sick.
Sasa sina hata 10 bob, how?
Bas. Najua wanasema time imeisha. Nataka tuoanishe hiyo your life. Tumetoka kuongea na Alfred Elik or Kwasi from Ghana. Tukiongea kuhusu youth leadership and unemployment. Na tumesema shida za njaa zinaleta hadi mental health. Lakini hiyo imaanishi huyo kijana mwenye anapitia hizo vitu hataki kuwa leader. Unfortunate things happened from the ward you come from, that you don't have an MCA, and IBC demands, no, we demand representation.
Yes.
After the tragic death of Honorable Joel Munuve, you are going to re-elect another person who will represent your people. And you told me you are in that race. I want us to address that and how you're going to do it different, because you must understand one thing. You are a youth. You do not have what they call resources to run your campaigns. You have leadership fire that is blazing deep down your hearts. It has the quest of trying to find change that are sustainable to help your community. How are you planning to maneuver? Oanisha hii yote in 2 minutes tafadhali. Ndo tufunge.
Thank you again, Ojwang, for the opportunity. I want to tell the people I'm the incoming MCA Kariobangi North. Na kenye nastaka kusema nitendeleza kazi ya Munuve. Munuve alikuwa amekea watu stima, street lights. Munuve was feeding the poor. That is the only thing I can endeleza for Munuve. But for myself, I am a believer of division and specialization of labor.
Division and specialization of labor.
Yes.
Kila mtu afanye kake kadogo.
Yes.
Good.
Tukienda pale Kariobangi tuko na light industry. So pale hivi tunaweza kuwa na mayouth wengi wako engineering, wako poa na tech. Pia huko chini kuna wasi wenye ni strong. Wanafanya ile kazi ya mjengo, ya kubeba. Pia tuko na wamama ambao pia wako kwa waste, wako kwa chama nini. So in short, what I'm going to do is that I am going to bring people together according to their capabilities. And so we are going to build a Kariobangi together. Haitakuwa ati ni mimi ndio naweza fanya. So we are going to have like for the World Development Fund, we are going to have light industries, technological hubs. Unajua pale light industry imekuwa pale for a long time, but the people have not been taught new technological things, how you can put a timer on a machine, vitu kama hizo, and those things are a new time, inaweza increase their sales. Kitu ya tatu ni education. Education iko chini pale sana Kariobangi. A lot of few people, most of the people are dropping out. So what I feel it is better I have educators, people who can come and talk to the youths, wakubali kurudi shule na kumaliza. Because we don't go to school so that you can get employed. We just go to school to open up our brains, ndio tuweze create jobs venye tunasema. Another thing that I'll focus on ni sports. You know, you cannot all feed kutoka kwa mkate. Some of the people are good sportsmen. So what I'm going to do, to centralize sana na football. I want people of Kariobangi warudie huko kwa ofisi ya Munuve. Kuna space nyingi sana. I want people there to continue doing boxing, indoor games, hata chess, ndio tuweze kuincrease watu wakuwe very busy. Kitu ya tatu nataka kusema ni ati I will be having something to promote startups. Unajua, most of the time sisi tunafikiria about the profit giving businesses. Mimi nitafute capital, nianze kuuza viatu, nipate pesa. But that job, si wewe umetengeneza hiyo kiatu. You have created nothing new from that shoe. Unaget? So what I want to help the people of Kariobangi with, nataka niwaweke akili ya entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship ni kumaanisha from all the resources, be it waste or anything that you umesomea kutoka somewhere, what can you create from afresh and it becomes your own innovation. And the only thing I can support hapo ni kusaidia in the property idea patenting. Yes.
Kabisa, nimependa sana vile your leadership is not about you. It's about the people. There are a lot of community based organizations zenye zikashikanishwa hapo hivyo, they can sort shida za community yao. Kama ni barabara and you need to do the CGO contractors, you find them from hao wenye wako hapo community. Si barabara ni yao. Uliza now that hii barabara ni yenyu to do Unaanza kupush from that level, inakuwa noma sana. On sport bro, tunamalizia na timu yako gani? Timu yako inaendeleaje EPL?
Arsenal
inaendeleaje?
Tuendelea tu fiti.
Good. Hiyo ndio nataka kuongelea. It is now crystal clear that Arsenal cannot win FA because Crystal Palace beat Manchester City to win it.
Yes.
It is crystal clear. Autochana Crystal Palace sana. Sasa twende Europa hamtapata. UEFA hamtapata. EPL.
What I can say is that unajua sisi hatukimbiza hiki kikombe. Sisi tunakuwa kutengeneza talanta.
Kabisa. Haya ni sawa. Talanta guys, kama wewe unapenda mambo ya talanta, yote yanatengenezewa pale hivyo. Arsenal ni talanta because kuna wengine hapo, kuna wakati kulikuwa na wachezaji kama Rigobert Song. Nasikia kama mnaimba sana. Lakini tunabeba UEFA, tunabeba EPL. Tunabeba next season. Hiyo ni Arsenal. Watu wa Chelsea wanasema aje wanangangana. Manchester United. Nataka sasa to agree that tomorrow we can continue with the newspaper review on KUTV Rise Today Biashara Tuesday hosted by Sylvia Anyango. Next Monday kwa mpigo tena zaidi. We will meet here on the same set tuweze kuongelea kuhusu art, tuweze kuongelea kuhusu culture and how all these are affecting you and the generations to come. Kwa mpigo tena zaidi. Thank you so much Deno. God akubless. Kila siku mimi hukuombea. I believe in you and the star that is in you. And I understand that is the environment that we are in because of the resilience and the change you have able to create so far. I believe one day utakuwa ukiongelea whole of Africa. Tunafika huko Ghana, venye hao wanatoka Ghana wanakuja Kenya, eti wanatuletea Africa Youth Empowerment Summit. Mungu akubariki, zidi kujituma mpaka hapo kwa campaign. There is power in youth and leadership is not about age. Hao wenye tunaita hao betrayers, those traitors, they have been empowered to push a campaign inaitwa not too young to lead. Sisi ni vijana kama wao.
Ni kweli.
Si tujitose kwa uwanja basi.
Asante sana Mariam.
Zaidi. On behalf of kila mtu mwenye amefanikisha show siku ya leo, tukiwa tumeongozwa na mwelekezi Ryan Ngure na kikosi kizima. Hiki kikosi nataka mkijue. From next week ndakuwa na waintroduce watu watatu wa kikosi cha Art and Culture Monday on KUTV Rise Today. Kwa nao, Mungu awabariki. Jina langu OJWANG, mtoto wa Mariam, Senior Warrant Officer 1 ama Luteni Kanali. Na mimi ni Mkenya Kenya naye, lakini ukenya wake usiukenye Kenye. Do the same and the world will be happy. Kuwa na siku njema.